If you don't think highly of yourself, why should anyone else? Now, that seems like an obvious question, right? At least it does to me. But there are a lot of people out there who think that how they feel or how other people feel has something to do with how others treat them. And I guess before we dig into it, I'll say this. There is a little bit of truth in that. Your day's certainly brighter when people like you, and when people don't like you or they're actively mean to you, then there is a little bit of a downer on things. But let's look at this fundamentally for a moment. How you conduct yourself, how you carry yourself, is how the world is going to be forced to respond to you. If you dress like a slob, you're going to be treated like a slob. If you show up smelling like garbage, people are going to assume that you slept in a garbage can, and they'll probably react to you as such. Now, whether that reaction is one of disgust or one of pity, what it certainly is not going to be is one of respect. Likewise, we all know people who are dumb as a brick and are completely incompetent, but because they present themselves well and they don't say or do a lot of things to give things away, they just kind of sit there in the corner and speak when spoken to, and they let people form the impression that they are projecting based on their external appearance. They get way more respect, way more adoration. Now, the point of me telling you that is not for you to go take advantage of your appearance so you can fool people. And you don't want to fool people the other way. I saw this crazy story where these guys are acting like they're garbage men on dates to test if a woman's loyal or something. That's loyal. That's crazy too. What I'm telling you is that how you carry yourself is going to determine how the world treats you. And should someone not treat you with the way you carry yourself or treat you in accordance with the way you're carrying yourself, then it is up to you, and you will likely do this automatically. You will behave in such a way that rejects that behavior, whether that is passively ignoring, checking them at the moment, letting them know you're not the one to play with, or being somebody who redirects it. Everyone has their own method. Everyone has their own way to approach this. You're going to send a different signal. But the point of this video is, how do we send that signal? And that signal starts with self-discipline. Look, I remember when I was an alcoholic and I was drinking all the time and I was just making a mess of myself. And there came a point where my friends stopped inviting me to family functions. They were cool to hang out with me. We were cool to kick it and drink. But when it came time to do serious things, I could not be a person to be brought around. I was not a serious person. That didn't bother me until I started to care about myself. And I started to think, wow, I'm messing things up because of my problem. And so I wanted to be taken seriously. So I had to get my life together, and that was an act of self-discipline. Likewise, anybody you interact with on a romantic level, you have to ask yourself what you're presenting to them and if they are giving that back. Now, everyone complains about there being, the opposite sex or whoever you're into, there not being enough quality mates for them. And maybe that's true, maybe that isn't. I'm not debating that particular aspect of it. But if you continue to attract the same type of person into your life, then that's sending you a very powerful signal about you. It has nothing to do with the people out there. You're the common denominator. Something about you is sending a message that you are that type of person that attracts that type of person. And the only way you can fix that signal, whatever that signal is, because it's a bad signal, is for you to take action that self-disciplines you, that gets things under control, whether that is controlling your behavior, whether that's getting into the gym and being disciplined and consistent with improving your physique, and how people are going to look at you and go, okay, that's somebody I can talk to, or that's somebody that's out of my league because they're a little bit frumpy or something like that. That's what you want to work on. And it's the same with money, if you're constantly complaining about the people that you spend time around, and you look at all the common denominators of the people you do want to spend time around, and perhaps they have money, they have status, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to do the work to make myself get that? And all of this is going to start sending powerful feedback signals. The people who interact with you, they're going to confirm that you belong in that group. It's like this, right? Here's a really good example. Fitness is always an easy place to look at this, because that's a tangible space you can look at and see. If you are hanging out with a group of fat people and you decide to get in shape and you decide to start taking your health seriously, you are disciplined, okay? You're going to start to reflect that, not just in your appearance that will change, but also in your attitudes towards food, exercise, and general activities. And it won't be long before one of two things happens. Either everyone in the group is going to be like, oh, this fitness thing is what's up, or you're going to be blacklisted from the group, either hard or soft. And anyone who's ever lost weight knows exactly what I'm talking about. This happens all the time. Whenever you make a change, you get rid of the old people or they get rid of you. Same way with drinking, harkening back to that. There are a ton of people I met when I was drinking, or who remained my friend, they were not really my friends when I was drinking, because it was a low vibration mode and they could work with me and they didn't have to meet any demands of respect, whether I placed them on them or not. They didn't have to meet those demands. And the moment I started to raise how I was presenting myself to the world, they had to make a choice. They either came with me or they got rid of me. This is why when people get sober, a lot of times there's no choice but to lose old friends, okay? All of this comes back to how you start feeling about yourself, and then how that goes out to the world, and then how the world reflects that based on how you take care of yourself. When you take care of yourself, your self-esteem is through the roof. And it's through the roof not because of how people are reacting to you. It's because of how you feel about yourself and how you are reacting to other people. And then that starts a beautiful upward spiral. I'll leave you with this. One of the things that pushed me to get sober is I couldn't stand the face that I was looking at in the mirror. I hated myself. I thought it was a terrible gun. I wasn't going anywhere, and I had to do something about that. And when I started doing something about that, I had to be disciplined to not drink anymore. I had to be disciplined to get the areas in my life together that I had let slip. And I got, almost, as of the time of this recording, something like 11 years of sobriety. But the point here is that now I'm living what appears to be a respectable life, and one that makes it very easy for me to feel good about myself, high self-esteem, high self-confidence, but it all started with self-discipline. Now the rest is up to you.